Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Reimund Neugebauer and to request that you confer on him the degree Doctor of Engineering honoris causa. The decision by Council and Senate to award him this degree has been taken on the grounds of the following considerations. Reimund Neugebauer, an extraordinary professor in industrial engineering at Stellenbosch University since 2007, has made a significant contribution in establishing links between Germany and South Africa in the fields of resource and energy-efficient production engineering. Under his leadership, a joint laboratory with Germany's Fraunhofer, the Fraunhofer Institute of Mechanical Tools and Forming Technology, was established. Several lecturers and students have benefited from this exchange program and its knowledge transfer. Professor Neugebauer is a fellow of the International Academy for Production Engineering and a member of the German Academy of Science and Engineering. He was president of the German Academic Society for Production Engineering and is the president of the Fraunhofer Gesellschaft, Europe's largest application-oriented research organization. Fraunhofer's research efforts are geared entirely to people's needs, health, security, communication, and energy, and a sustainable environment. The work undertaken by their researchers and developers has a significant impact on people's lives and is directly applicable to private and public enterprise with wide societal benefits to industry, the service sector as well, and public administration. Fraunhofer has research centers and satellite offices in Europe, the United States of America, and Asia, and plans to open an office in South Africa. It has 66 institutes and research units, over 22,000 staff members, mostly scientists and engineers, and an annual research budget of 1.9 billion euro, of which 1.6 billion is generated through contract research. Dames en heren, as internasionaal bekende wetenskaplike en ingenieur van hulpbron en energiedoeltreffende produksietechnologie, lewer Reimund Neugebauer 'n voortgesette internasionale bydrae tot waardetoevoeging deur produksie. Sy fokus strek van die doeltreffende ontginning van grondstowwe tot die algehele hulpbron doeltreffendheid van alle produkte wat in die alledaagse lewe gebruik word. Deur sy daadwerklike poging om te verseker dat hierdie kennis internasionaal en veral aan ontwikkelende ekonomieë soos Suid-Afrika oorgedra word, het internasionale gemeenskappe 'n beter kans om hul gesamentlike doelwit te bereik om goedere en dienste aan 'n groter spektrum van die wêreldbevolking te voorsien. Mr. Chancellor, Professor Neugebauer has wide contacts and big networks in the German and other European and international scientific and research communities. Stellenbosch University enjoys continued benefits through its connection with him and the organizations that he represents. Companies like Mercedes-Benz East London, BMW Rosslyn, Volkswagen Uitenhaag, Toyota and others have shown that South Africa can supply its own demand and can export successfully to first world markets, such as the supply of the Mercedes C-Class to the United States. The world now seeks resource efficiency in manufacturing and over the full cycle of the product. The approximately 20 prizes, honorary degrees and awards that Knut Paul Reimund Neugebauer has received include honorary doctorates from universities in Russia, the Czech Republic, and Germany, the Order of Merit of the German State of Saxony, and the Officer's Cross of the Order of Merit of the German Federal Republic. Mr. Chancellor, I request that you confer the degree Doctor of Engineering honoris causa on Reimund Neugebauer for his establishment of links between Germany and South Africa in the crucial field of resource and energy-efficient production and engineering, specifically geared to people's needs, and his significant contribution to the creation of knowledge on research efficiency, on resource efficiency, and the international transfer thereof, especially to developing countries and economies.
Good afternoon, honorable guests. It's my privilege to say a few words in the honor of another person who's invested a lot in South Africa. And today is a special day because we are, as a university, acknowledging people who invest in our country to make it a better place for everyone. You've heard about Professor Neugebauer's role at the Fraunhofer Institute, a formidable entity. And it's a wonderful privilege that they, through his partnership with Stellenbosch, wishes to share expertise and exchange opportunities with us. And that's why we want to acknowledge what has been done and look to the future what can be done. The association of Professor Neugebauer started with the engineering faculty when he looked with industrial engineering at ways of using titanium processes for the modern aerospace industries and also for the medical devices that nowadays become more sophisticated, require more sophisticated materials and more intelligent processes. And there he took the lead and decided that association with South Africa and our university in particular will be beneficial even for the institutes that he's been associated with in Germany. And we have not looked yet back at that process which you've started with us. Yes, we've benefited a lot from the technology available at a place like Fraunhofer, and on the other hand, South Africa has a lot to offer. We've moved way beyond the point where we are seen as a supplier of raw materials and everything else we buy in from overseas. It's a true partnership. Professor Neugebauer has taken the lead in establishing a number of those partnerships with us, and I'm sure his association in future will lead to more of these partnerships, which are good for a country which is in the forefront of technology such as Germany, and a country which is also at the forefront and aspires to make a good contribution, a formidable contribution in South Africa, our continent, and wider for technology. So, ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses. Let us toast Dr. Reimund Neugebauer. Dr. Neugebauer.
Thank you, Professor Schoonwinkel, for your kind toast. Dear Chancellor Ruppert, dear Rector, Professor Boatman, Mrs. Boatman, dear Minister Pandor, Professor Arnold van Zyl, the rector of my home university in Chemnitz, distinguished guests. It is a great honor for me to be here at the University of Stellenbosch and to have been conferred the Honorary Doctorate together with the Minister of Home Affairs. Your engagement, Madame Pandor, for us in science and research, together with our former Minister, Annette Schavan, our former Minister for Science and Technology in Germany, is the basis for the German and South African scientific cooperation until today. Thank you very much. The Honorary Doctorate from this, on the one hand, wonderful, traditional, and on the other hand, scientifically successful university is a great honor for me, and it acknowledged the scientific cooperation between Fraunhofer, the Technische Universität Chemnitz, and the Stellenbosch University over many years in different research fields. Besides my position as president of the Fraunhofer Gesellschaft or Fraunhofer Association, I'm also, in personal union, a professor at the Technische Universität Chemnitz, the alma mater of Adolf Lange. Adolf Lange was a man who in the 19th century laid the basis of the watch industry in Saxony. And you, Mr. Chancellor Dr. Rupert, recognized the value of Lange & Söhne, this company, when you acquired the company as a brand in Richmond. And I thank you for the engagement in the Free State of Saxony, also in my position as the refounding president of the Saxonian Association of Industry. My cooperation with the University of Stellenbosch started in the middle of the 90s in different projects, student exchange and common conferences like COMA, driven by my friend and colleague, Professor Dimitrov, but also supported by the Rectorate of Professor Boatman and the former Dean of Engineering, Professor Schoonwinkel. Thank you very much, you all together, for this support over a lot of years. As special and successful activities I would like to highlight, firstly, the cooperation resulted in 2006 in the establishment of a joint lab between my former Fraunhofer Institute for Machine Tools and Forming Technologies, IWU, and the Global Competitiveness Center here in engineering here in Stellenbosch at the university. Secondly, our common project between the universities of Stellenbosch, Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Fraunhofer, as well as the different South African industrial partners, focused on high-performance machining of light metals with an emphasis on titanium and selected alloys. You can recognize a very careful topic for the research. The basis, this brought us the basis for South African becoming a key supplier in the international aeronautical industry. Yesterday, we had a kick-off meeting to continue this cooperation in a follow-up project, research efficient process chains for titanium, for components in aerospace, in automotive industry, and in medical applications. And this project will be funded by the Department of Science and Technology. For the future cooperation, we discussed, and I think it's very interesting for the most colleagues from the university here, we discussed new ideas, for example, rare earth metals, especially how can we substitute special rare earth alloys like neodymium or dysprosium between the Stellenbosch University, Fraunhofer, and possibly with the Anglo Gold Company here in South Africa. And we discussed from the Fraunhofers this also with Tito Mboveni, and he is also honorary doctorate from this university. And I think we have a good chance that we can together do more for independence from other countries in the field of rare earths. Another idea is the common development of intelligent implants, which integrates the function in one component, integrates the function of diagnostic on one hand and therapy on the other hand, for example, for smart hip endoprosthetics controlling hemodynamic blood and hand prosthetics control. In spring of this year, I had a discussion with Prime Minister Helen Zille about another research area that we can do together more for environmental technologies. At the end of my speech, I would like to honor also from my side Nelson Mandela, the most famous honorary graduate of the university, with one of his quotations. And I think this is a good look for researchers. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. In this context, let's go on the cooperation. Thank you very much.